We're now going into our 1 minute mingle. If you'd like to take this time to say hello to someone in your house, or we have the online chat where you can connect with one of us. It's our community service this week, so we've got an interview from our very own community pastor Lisa and our lead pastor Christian after the minute mingle.
Hey everyone, you can see the rawness of this building. You may be wondering, where on earth are we? Well, this is our Ilkeston hub location where we house all our food. Lots of things happen down here, and it's very raw, it's very large, it's 10,000 square foot, and there's a lot of stuff that happen from here. In a moment I'm going to introduce Lisa, but it's been a real journey that we've been on over these last 10 years. And Lisa is our community pastor, and she also takes a lead on all things to do with community. So welcome, Lisa. I just want to ask you, why on earth did you get involved?
Right, so I responded to an appeal that you made on Sunday. You'd become aware that there was a lot of food poverty within our community, and that disturbed you. So you appealed to the church to step up and help, that you wanted to launch this food bank. Well, I myself was born into poverty. I was a typical kid, holes in my shoes, couldn't afford the ice cream when the van came round. So everything you said that day resonated. I'd been saved 7 years, I wasn't involved in anything, but that day I knew that I'd give my life to something like that, Christian. So I came forward.
Wow, and it's been an absolute incredible journey, because we started, do you remember this,
Yes.
with a pallet and a few tins.
Yes.
Just talk to us about what's happened since then.
So we started from there. The congregation used to bring donations in every week for several weeks, and we was a team of 3, used to make packs, and we'd only make probably 6 packs. And we've grown from a team of 3 to a team of 80, just to run food bank. Out of food bank, just out of the nature of interviewing and establishing need, we became aware of a vast variety of other needs, such as homelessness, furniture, affordable clothing. Every time something like that had come up, I'd come and speak to you about it. This has come to light, what can we do about that, Christian? And together we'd find a way around that. Something that I myself find very interesting is, I think it'd be fair to say, my passion and my dedication to it comes from having lived that life, having come from a life of poverty and dysfunction at every level. But knowing you, I know, Christian, that you are as far removed from my background as a person could be. Your story is completely different from mine. However, something that's always spoke to me, that I'd like you to explain to us, is having come from such a different background, not experiencing personal poverty to such as myself and the service users that use us, what motivates you? Because your passion, I have to say, I have to be honest with everybody, most of the time is even greater than mine. So what does motivate you? What makes you keep fighting?
So the interviewed has become the interviewer. You've really turned it on me now. So my passion, you know me, we work well as a team, is we don't come from that background. You're absolutely right. But Caroline, my wife, and family, God has been very good to us. God has blessed us. We have food. We've never been without, really. And there was a realization that I needed to do something. We needed to do something. We needed to give our life to something. We needed to make a difference. We needed to do it practically. And for those who know me, know that this is not a whim. This is what we have now given our life to. We are committed to both the businessmen, because we get to work with a lot of business people coming in, which I love, but we also get to work with those who are very, very broken. Badass choices, as Lisa says. Some of them, things have been thrust on them, circumstances, but we're committed to helping them. That's why we do. That's why we do what we do. I mean, just very quickly, Lisa, what can people do to get involved? How can they help us?
Well, keep donating forward because the need has increased, not decreased, because of your working sector that's being furloughed. So it may look, guys, like we've got masses, but it can be depleted very fast, very quickly. So keep donating forward. Financial donations are really needed because we have families. We stock non-perishables, so we have like long life milk on the shelves, but we have young families with babies and children that need fresh full fat milk, so we need money to go out and purchase that. So there's some things we can't stop, so financial aid is really needed as well, Christian.
Fantastic. Now, what I want to do today on this broadcast is we're launching a Let's Do This campaign. Lisa and I, a few years ago, and the team, the board, launched two things. One was called the 1,000 Club. Very quickly, it was basically to try and encourage 1,000 people in our community to give just £3 a month. £3 a month. And that £3,000 that effectively would come in would make a huge difference. At the same time, we launched Business Buddies. We're encouraging businesses, if you're out there, you're a business leader, to give £100 a month. A lot of money, but £100 a month or £1,200 a year. And we're looking for about 20 businesses who would do that. Listen, if we could get 1,000 people giving £3 a month and 20 business leaders giving £100, we would underwrite the shortfall that we presently have in our community, and we would make an incredible difference. So on the screens, there's a link there now. You can click on, you can give your money, you can find out more information. If you want to email us, please do so. But we're calling this Let's Do This campaign. You know what I'm like for nice slogans. Let's do this. So come on, let's do this and let's really make a difference. And I'd encourage you to send links to your other businessmen, send links to your family and friends, whatever. Let's see 1,000 people, 20 businesses all coming together and really making a difference. Not just in Ilkeston, but in Mansfield, in Belper, in Nottingham, across this M1 corridor, and really making a difference and helping people practically. So thank you for listening. What we'd say to you is, please continue to do what you're doing, stay safe, and we look forward to gathering with you real soon. God bless you.
Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for clicking on today. We will give you a huge welcome to Arena Church. I've really been excited about being with you today, and I always count it an absolute privilege to be able to come into your home. For those who are clicking on for the very first time, you need to understand that Arena Church is one church in multiple locations. And as we've been doing over these last few weeks, I want to give a huge shout out to all our locations. So come on, get yourself ready, get your fingers ready to type it in. And we want to give a big shout out to Belper. Come on, Belper. And now to Ilkeston. Oh yes, come on Ilkeston. Let's hear some noise. And to the Hub. We love you guys. Come on, type the Hub. We want to now go to Nottingham. Absolutely outstanding. And Mansfield, my hometown. Come on, the Stags. We love it. And also to Toulouse, France. We just love the fact that we're there over the channel with Patrick and Lucille. And also there's another location that we've planted over these last few weeks, and it's called Online. And you're here today, and you found out about us, and we're delighted that you are with us today. We want to give you a huge welcome if it's your first time amongst us, and we love the fact that you've clicked on today. I'd encourage you to just continue with us over this time that we've got together, because it's a very special Sunday, and we do this twice a year where we honor our community. There are many people in our community who are doing incredible things. And I want to speak a message today that's entitled, We Love Our Community. Come on, tap it on the screen. We love our community. You see, we have hundreds of community heroes in the community. And we also have a group that goes beyond the NHS and the police and the key workers. We also have our own team, and you've already seen a video around that, seeing the remarkable things that are happening in and through Arena Community and the great work that we do practically in our communities. And we value you and we love you. And I also want to say, for those who are on the front line in this time, difficult time, we're praying for you. We're standing with you. And if we can serve you in any way and you're online today, just click on and, let one of the hosts know, or email the officers, and we will certainly do what we can. It was great that I was able to be on a call only last week with the Director of Public Services for one of the councils that we're in. And I was able to express to her my goodwill and our prayers. And we want to say that we're praying for every council and every MP. And we're praying for those who are on the ground serving. We're told that it's very important in a relationship to speak and to show love. This reminds me of a man and a wife who went to marriage therapy. And please forgive me if you've heard me tell this story before, but it's one of my personal favorites. You see, after 10 years of marriage, this husband and wife were basically having a few issues, and they needed some counseling. They went to the counselor, they sat down, and the counselor asked them what the problem was. And the wife immediately went into a tirade of every problem they've ever had in all the years they've been married. On and on. Neglect, lack of intimacy, non-communication, emptiness, loneliness, feeling unloved and unlovable. And finally, after allowing for a sufficient pause, the marriage counselor got up, he walked around the desk, and he asked the wife to stand up. He then embraced her and kissed her long and passionately as the husband watched with a raised eyebrow. The woman was stunned, and quietly she sat down in a daze. The counselor turned to the husband and said, "This is what your wife needs at least 3 times a week. Can you do this?" And the husband replied, "Well, I can drop her off here Mondays, Wednesdays, but on Fridays I go golfing." I don't know about you, but that is one of my personal favorites. It really is. The reality is, not just in marriages, but in relationships in general, we need to speak and we need to show love. I'm still laughing now on that joke, sorry. You know, there are many things that I love deeply. I really do. And I hope that shows from my life and even from these broadcasts. You know, I love my family. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my wider family. I love Jesus. I love the church. And I love the team. I love the staff. I love the pastors. You've got a great team. But I also love our community. I love that we get to serve you. And I would love this message more than others to be sent out. Please use it. If you've enjoyed it, send it a link to your friends and your family, particularly those who are across this M1 corridor or in Toulouse, France. Because I want to tell you, I want to look down the camera, I love our community. I love that we get to serve you. I love the fact that we've got the most broken to the most proper and everything in between in Arena Church. When we're able to gather, you'll see we've got doctors and business people intermingling, connecting, friends, family, with the unemployed and the marginalized. And we're all together in Arena, and I love that. One of my favorite verses is found in Psalm 68, verse 5-6. And as always, if you'd like a Bible, please click on the link. We'll send you one. If you'd like to get a Bible and you've got a device, why don't you consider, getting YouVersion? That would really help you, I'm sure. And in Psalm 68, verse 5-6, it says this: to the fatherless, he is a father. And to the widow, he is a champion friend. And to the lonely, he makes them part of a family. And to the prisoners, he leads them into prosperity until they sing for joy. Listen, if you're fatherless, he wants to be your father. If you're a widow, and we have many, he is a champion friend. And if you're lonely, he encourages you and welcomes you to be part of the family. And if you feel like you're bound up, he wants to lead you into prosperity until you begin to sing with joy in your heart. And this is why Arena Church exists. You see, we want to help people practically, and we want to feed people spiritually. Go on, tap on your screen. We want to help people practically, and we want to feed people spiritually. This is the feeding bit. This is the feeding bit. And when I think of our community, I can't help but think about a promise that was given to God to his people in Isaiah. But listen to me before I read it. It was also given to us 10 years ago as we began the work of community with greater intentionality. If you're taking notes, it's found in Isaiah 58 and verses 9-12. And I'm going to read from the Message version. Let's read it together, shall we? If you get rid of unfair practices and quit blaming victims, quit gossiping about other people's sins, and if you are generous with the hungry and you start giving yourselves to the down and out, your lives will begin to glow in the darkness, and your shadowed lives will be bathed in sunlight. I will always show you where to go. I'll give you a full life in the emptiest of places, firm muscles, strong bones. You'll be like a well-watered garden, a gurgling spring that never runs dry. You'll use the old rubble of past lives to build anew. Rebuild the foundations from out of your past. You'll be known as those who can fix anything, restore old ruins, rebuild and renovate, and get this, make the community livable again. Let's say that again. Make the community livable again. Tap the neighbor at the side of you, who you're with. If you're on your own, tap the settee. Make the community livable again. What a promise to us as we look over our locations that we've already given a shout out to. What a promise as we look to establish and build and serve the M1 corridor and beyond. It says that we're going to take the broken, the abused, the disused, and the abandoned hearts, the rubble, the broken down pieces that are existing all of our lives. And God himself is going to put us back together. He's going to enable us to take the broken down high streets that are up and down our M1 and over this nation, the abandoned buildings, the dangerous estates and streets, and for us to bring a message of hope. I really pray that that's what God will enable us to do. Keep enabling us to do. Even with this online service, even as we come out of lockdown and begin to gather again, that we will not lose this heart and this passion to rebuild and to make our communities livable again. Now, Jesus, where I want to go to, if I can, just in this time that we've got together, Jesus in the Gospels, and I've said this time and time again in my communication, that I'd encourage you to read the Gospel accounts of Jesus. Jesus he was remarkable. He was remarkable in how he lived his life. You know, the people in that day said he's different. He's different. He's like nobody else. It wasn't just the miracles that he did, but it's the love that he showed. It's the character, how he lived his life. Remarkable. And there are three qualities that exude from the life of Jesus in the Gospels. Please read them if you would. And I want to highlight them because I really think as we love our community, we should take these three qualities and we should live them and we should example them to those around us. So are you ready? Are you really ready? Yeah, get ready. Wonderful. The first thing that Jesus showed, and I think is important as we love our community, is that we need to be welcoming. I'll say that again. Welcome in. Let's go back to Isaiah 58. It says there, if you are generous with the hungry and start giving yourselves to the down and out. I honestly believe it's so important that we should provide a generous welcome to all. One of the qualities that we just want to exude from Arena Church is we want to have an approachability. We want to be approachable. You know, one of the things that people ask me, pastors and other leaders ask me, is why do we have so many kids and young people and so many business people and so many broken people and so many widows and lonely people and singles? Because we've got all those in the church, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. It's amazing. And they say, well, how do you get it? My answer is always the same. You get what you love. You get what you love. And we love all of these people. If you're on the broadcast today and you fit into any category, you're welcome. You're loved. You're appreciated. You're valued. I've got you to do a lot of tapping, but I'm missing the interaction. I think you can tell. So tap on the screens. You are welcome. You are welcome. Now, what's interesting, in certain places and in certain churches, there's still a divide. Let me take you to a trip that we had a couple of years ago. My family and I, and actually a couple of our guys joined us, our campus pastor, Josh Turner, and also our worship pastor, Nathan Butcher, joined us in Birmingham, Alabama. I've got the most amazing American accent I really have. I know it's terrible. My kids say it's awful. But we're in Birmingham, Alabama at a conference, and we'd booked into this hotel. I was with my family and these two guys. But what we didn't know, we was in predominantly a black hotel that served black guests, and the servers were predominantly black. Now, I'm making an emphasis of that because it wasn't an issue to us. But it clearly was to many of them. And not an issue with the color of our skin, but the issue was we were talking to them. We were being nice to them. We engaged with the receptionist and the concierge because we were there for 5 days. They couldn't believe it. We said good morning to the lady who was serving us as she cleaned our room. We said good morning to those who served us at breakfast. We said thank you. We showed gratitude. And we showed them that they were not invisible. They were not invisible. I was amazed by the divide. Now, of course, that was at the very heart of the civil rights movement there in Birmingham, Alabama. But listen, there's divides in all of our society. And I honestly believe that we should treat everyone, I'll say that again, we should treat everyone with respect and love. There is a welcome to all. The Apostle Paul, who was a giant in the New Testament, not physically, but in terms of his writing and his influence, in Ephesians in chapter 3 and verse 6, again in the Message, he writes this: the mystery is that people who have never heard of God and those who have heard of him all their lives stand on the same ground before God. They get the same offer, the same help, the same promises in Christ Jesus. Listen, the message is accessible and welcoming to everyone across the board. This message is accessible and welcoming to everyone across the board. Doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from, what your background is, what the color of your skin is, how rich, how poor you are, whether you've been in prison, whether you've not been in prison, whether you've been to university or you haven't, whether you've got a great job or you're jobless. We're not bothered across the board. Whether you're religious or irreligious, you're welcome. And I think we would do well. If we're going to love our community, we need to stop judging people. We need to embrace all. And when I say that, we need to remove the prejudice. What I've realized is this very quickly, is there a prejudice that rich people have to poor people. I don't like classifying, but I'm doing it to be provocative. Middle classes and upwards, they look at those people, oh, they need to go and get themselves sorted out. There's a prejudice that we carry. But equally, there are many people who I've known who are poor, have a prejudice against those who are rich. And actually, some of those who are rich are very down to earth, but have worked very hard to accumulate what they have. What I'm saying to you is, doesn't matter which category you find yourself in, we need to stop having prejudice. And we need to be welcoming to all. Secondly, and that's what Jesus expressed. He expressed a welcome to everybody. Look at him, the adulterous woman, the leper, the broken, the abused, those who were not like him, the children. He embraced them all. He was welcoming. Secondly, we need to have a sincerity. Go on, tap it on your screen. Sincerity. What am I talking about? Sincerity. I'm talking about a genuineness and a fairness. Again, take you back to Isaiah 58, because that's been the foundation for today. He then goes on to say that we should get rid of unfair practices. Unfair practices. This is a call to justice again, to honesty, to authenticity, to compassion, and to sincerity. I did a teaching series. Well, we did a teaching series here in Arena. It's probably now 18 months, 2 years ago. But we talked about being real, because fake is exhausting. Be real, because fake is exhausting. I wonder how many fake people you know. I wonder how many fake people you know. But listen to me, we can all be fake at times. There are people who put on masks of lies and deceit. You know, fake IDs are not just for young guys who are trying to get into bars and clubs and they're not old enough. There are many people who have fake IDs, fake personalities, and they create imaginary lives. And listen to me, that is not going to cut it. I really believe that there's a call for us to be sincere to our community. Our community demands sincerity. And I want to say and look down the camera again and saying, if you are from our community, if you're from one of those locations, or if you're across the world, what you will get is a sincere welcome from Arena Church. We are who we are. And by the way, we're not about to hide. Jesus says that we have a light that shines. Don't put it under a bushel. Don't have a light and then put it under a light stand. Let your light shine bright. And by the way, this is who we are. I'm aware some people may not like us. Some people may even hate us. Some people may disagree with us. But this is who we are. This is who we are. And this is who I am. And I really believe that we should be sincere. You know, sincerity, when sincerely expressed, will leave an indelible mark upon a life. I'll say that again. I love that quote. I just wrote it down. I was just grappling with it. Sincerity, when sincerely expressed, will leave an indelible mark upon a life. And it's true. I want to be known as sincere. A genuineness, no guile, no judgment. I think about my dear friend, Pastor Mark Sherratt, who was my youth pastor and is still a confidant and friend. He's such a person. He's sincere and authentic and genuine. He's not perfect, But people like that, people like him and others, have left an indelible mark upon my life. And this sincerity releases something. It releases compassion. When you're truly sincere and genuine, you can't help but release a compassion to the world. And compassion will heal more sins than condemnation. It really will. People don't need condemnation. What people need is compassion. I think about a man, I'll be careful, who we came into contact with a number of years ago in the beginnings of our community program. He was well known in the community. He was well known to the probation, to the police, and to the prison service. And I got to do a garden with him, our digging. And I got to find out about his life. I got to find out about his history of addiction and violence and abandonment. I got to realize that he was, because, not of nature, but because of nurture and choices. But there were many reasons why he behaved the way he did. I remember him saying to me, I need to go and get my script from the chemist. So I said, jump in my car, I'll take you. And I started to build up a friendship with him to the point where he started coming to church. But the next time that I saw him, I determined in my heart that I wasn't just going to fist pump him or high five him or whatever. Shaking hands, that wasn't what they do. But I was going to hug him. Now, this is a big deal because this guy was bigger than me and he was solid and he didn't take any prisoners and any messing. I remember going down into our building in Ilkeston, seeing him. I had a pristine shirt on and it was nicely ironed and cleaned. You'll be glad to know, by my dear wife, Caroline. And I got hold of him and I hugged him. And he then expressed to me that, I don't think it was hours, days later, that had not happened to him. And he began to open up more and more. Now, I'd love to tell you that the story evolved and he's now in our church and he's one of our guys. He didn't. His story was because of some poor choices, he ended up going down a pathway. But my point is, he'll never lose the fact that I and people in Arena were sincere with him, that they loved him. You know, Jesus looked down, a similar story in Matthew 9, verse 36, because Jesus looked over his broken down community and it says, when he saw the vast crowds of people, Jesus' heart was deeply moved with compassion because they seemed weary and helpless, like wandering sheep without a shepherd. Have you got it? Jesus saw the same kind of people and he embraced them. He drew them to himself out of compassion. If you're weary, if you're tired, if you're helpless, if you're lost, does this describe you? I want to encourage you to come to Jesus even today. Come to him today. Your streets, your neighbors, your family, your friends, the town and city that we live in, they need us. And they need us to be sincere and compassionate and welcoming. But not only do we need to be welcoming and sincere, but we need to be passionate. Oh, I love this word. But before I go somewhere, let me take you to Isaiah 58 again. Because you'll notice that the language which we read earlier says you'll be like a well-watered garden, a gurgling spring that never runs dry. I haven't given that justice. Let me read it again. You'll be like a well-watered garden, a gurgling spring that never runs dry. This verse is full of life, energy, verve, passion, and purpose. It really is. And I want, with my passion, to express my passion in areas that are going to make a difference. I want the community to live again. Not just to exist, but to flourish. I want people not just to survive, but to thrive. I want our churches in every location to be expansive, productive, fruitful, loud, full of life, and full of color. And passion is a distinct quality of God. You know, in this moment, I want to jump up and down. Those who know me like, to know I'm like a caged lion here. I've got to stand on the spot. I'm doing as I'm told to the camera person now. They're looking at me very, very cautiously. Where is he going to go? What is he going to do? No, I'm not about to go wandering. You'll be glad to know. But I want to, in this moment, to express some passion. I love to jump. I love to shout. I love to sing. I love to extend praise to God. I love to extend love to this world. I just want to be loud in this moment and run around. I really do, because God is a passionate God, and he is passionate about you, and he is passionate about our communities. Now, there are many on this broadcast who are asking this question, hearing this message, would I be accepted? I'm a sinner. I've done so much wrong. There's so much wrong with me. I've made so many mistakes. And while I'm here, I just sense there's somebody on the camera today, and you abandoned your children. You're a male. You abandoned your children, and that has lived with you for the rest of your days. I want to say that you, sir, you need to turn to God. You need to put your trust in him again. And you need to reach out to those children and watch what God does. But there are many who feel like this. But I want to tell you with passion that God is for you. He's not against you. I wonder if you just turn to the sidelines for a moment. That's God cheering you on. I wonder if you would look past the finish line. That's God applauding your steps. Listen to him in the stands. He's shouting your name. But many of us, we feel that we're too tired to continue. He'll carry you. You're too discouraged to fight. He's picking you up because God is for you. He is passionate. He is compassionate. He is love-filled. He is welcoming. He's our even-tempered Father. And he wants us as his children to follow his example. When I think of passion, I think we've got to passionately serve, labor, toil in our neighborhoods, estates, towns, streets, and cities. We've got to reach out with random acts of kindness and love to our neighbors and to those who have wronged us. We've got to, reach out and do what we can. I love passion because there's always going to be someone who's more smarter than me, more talented than me, but there's no substitute for passion. People who are passionate always work the hardest, and this sets them apart. I often say to my son who plays basketball, forgive me for the personal illustration for a moment, it's about working the hardest. It's about being the committed. It's about being the most committed. It's about going above and beyond. It's about living with a passion. And those kinds of people you want to work with. Those kinds of people make a difference in the world. And we, if nothing else, in Arena Church, we're certainly not the smartest, nor the richest, nor the most intelligent, nor the most educated. But I tell you this much, you'll receive passion. We have a passion for Jesus. We have a passion for one another. And we have a passion for this world to go and make a difference. And I committed years ago to pastor the community with passion. This passion at times, guys, as I just try and draw this to a close, has led us to go, to love and to serve. It's led us to commit and sacrifice more often than not at huge personal cost, at huge financial commitment, and even pain. But listen to me and listen to this carefully. Passion looks beyond pain and sees potential. Let me say that again. Passion looks beyond the pain and sees the potential. The film that broke my heart years ago when I went to see it in the cinema was The Passion of the Christ. That film directed by Mel Gibson. It broke my heart. I sobbed, I wept as I saw what Jesus went through for mankind. It was a brilliant film depicting the life of Jesus. But what it also showed me, that Jesus was full of passion. And this passion caused him to embrace the pain and the suffering. You see, Jesus did not promise us a life of ease, comfort, serenity, and relaxation. And as we serve our community, we do so out of obedience, without guarantees of outcomes. Why? Because we love our community. This is a great quote. We serve because we can, we are called, and we are compelled. I want to say that again. We serve here because we can, we are called, and we are compelled. Paul says, for Christ's love compels me. So I prophetically announce to you and to our communities a welcome like no other. When we get out of lockdown, come and see us. A sincerity that's wrapped up with compassion, and a passion that is not fueled by a whim, but a purpose. And we offer these three qualities to our community. And we offer these three qualities of a welcome, of being sincere, and showing the love of God to our world with passion. As I really draw this now to a close, I want to say to you today, let's draw these verses together in Isaiah 58 that we've read together. As we do these three qualities, as we are these three qualities, our communities will be like a well-watered garden, a gurgling spring that never runs dry. We'll take the old rubble of past lives to build anew. We'll rebuild the foundations from out of your past, and you'll be known as those who can fix anything. Listen to me. Restore old ruins, rebuild and renovate, and make the community livable again. Oh, make the community livable again. I hope you've got the passion. I hope you've got my heart. We love our community. We love you. And in these closing moments, I'd like to take the opportunity to pray for you. I just get a real sense. I have every week that I've come. That's why I've been excited. There are people who are on the broadcast today who want to really live. You don't just want to survive. You want to thrive. You've tried every other thing. But today you've heard that you need to put your trust and your surrender in Jesus. I've literally, when I was preparing this, I saw scores of people surrendering to Jesus in your front room, in your bedroom, in your kitchen, as you bow your head, committing your life to Jesus. I saw you, I saw you, I saw you. And in this moment, I want to take a moment to pray and lead you to Jesus. I wonder if you'd pray this prayer with me. Dear Jesus, thank you for loving me. Thank you with such passion. Thank you for pursuing me. Thank you that even though I was so broken, you still accept me and you forgive me. And I ask that you would forgive me of all my sins and you would give me a brand new start. I don't just want to survive. I want to thrive and I want to live for you in Jesus' name. Friend, if you have prayed that today, I believe there are many of you who've prayed that today. I'd just encourage you now to tap on the screen where it says, I've raised my hand. Raise your hand. Don't delay. Don't hold back. Lean in to the call of God. And don't just tap on the screen, but then connect with a host. We've got people who want to help you, want to resource you, want to pray for you. Leave us your contact details. We want to help you and assist you in this time. I also want to pray for those people who want to live differently. As we come out of here, you want to live with no judgment, but a welcome, sincerity, and passion. Let me pray for you. Father, I pray, Lord, that Cross Arena Church, that we would live with a great welcome, that the doors would be open wide to everybody, that there'd be a sincerity, a genuineness, not a fakeness around our lives. And we would love people with compassion and with passion. And Lord, you would take our influence and extend it far beyond our present locations to the glory of your name. Make a difference, we ask and pray, while people are in need, while people are frightened, while people are anxious. I pray that the peace of God would surround them. I pray that people would be healed now in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Amen. I've loved being with you today. I hope you got my heart and my passion. I really do love you. I thank God for you. And as always, we do love you. We're praying for you and we believe in you. God bless you.
Hasn't it been a great time together? Aren't we so blessed to have such a huge-hearted pastor? It's just a shame about those funny stories that he keeps telling. Sorry, Pastor Christian. But we've got some good news. The worship team have another song that they want to share with us. They've written it and they've recorded it ready for us to play right now. It's an amazing song. I've seen it already and it's a brilliant song they've got for us. But I for one believe that this is number 2 of so many. It's not just going to stop here. There's going to be a grace for music, for grace for worship to come on Arena Church, which is amazing. So let's listen, and as we do that, we're going to give of our offering. This is another act of our worship, an opportunity that we get to be generous. And it says this in the Bible. Remember this: a farmer who plants only a few seeds will get a small crop, but the one who plants generously will get a generous crop. You must each decide in your own heart how much to give, and don't give reluctantly or in response to pressure. For God loves a person who gives cheerfully, and God will generously provide all you need. Then you will always have everything you need and plenty left over to share with others. What an opportunity we get to give right now. So let's listen to this song. Maybe get typing in on the side as well what you think to it, but keep it very, very positive. And let's give of our offering.
Is worship you. The only thing I want to do is bow down only to you, Jesus, only you. Praise I won't hold back. It's not about feelings, it's all about Jesus. Name we could ever praise. Jesus, the only one we could ever lift up. Jesus, the one who makes it all fall into place. You're the one who laid death in its grave. You're the about faith, it's all about Jesus. Praise you, oh, it's not about religion, it's all about Jesus. Jesus, the only name we could ever praise. Jesus, the only one we could ever lift up. Jesus, the one who makes it all for him to praise. 'Cause you're the one who laid death in its grave. Jesus, the only name we could ever praise. Jesus, the only one we could ever lift up. Jesus, the one who makes it all for him to praise. 'Cause you're the one who laid death in its grave.
What a great day it's been on Church Online today. We're so glad that you've been able to join us. Just a couple of things to make you aware of that's continuing to happen throughout the week here at Arena. We're doing prayer every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. over Zoom. It's a great place to still see each other and pray for needs in our world. Also, we're running Bible school every other week, which is also a great place to go deeper and find out more about God. If you'd like to know more about these things, please go to arenachurch.co.uk/what's happening, and you'll find out more information there. Also, if you're new to Arena or have recently found us, please fill out an online Connect card. You can find that on the Church Online page, or there will be a Connect button coming up on your screen now. Also on the Church Online page, there is a prayer request button. If you have a need or a praise report, please fill one of those out and our team would love to pray for you. We also are a generous church. We believe in generosity, and I'm so glad that we've continued to do that throughout this time. There's 4 ways that you can give, and they're all found on the Church Online page again, or there'll be a give button that you can press now, and you can do that there. Thank you for joining us. It's been a great day, and we can't wait to do it again next week.